Hey everybody, Mr. Boom Shakalaka here with my first time playthrough of Medieval for the PlayStation 4. This is going to be the Medieval remake. That is a remake of the original Medieval, which was released in the late 90s for the PlayStation 1. This is going to be my first time playing. It's widely regarded, not necessarily as a classic, but certainly a cult classic, and it's a game I've been wanting to play for the last 20 years. And I was an Xbox kid growing up, so I missed out on all of the Sony classics, all of the Nintendo classics, all of the PC classics. So this channel is dedicated to me playing all these games that are so well regarded for the first time. And I figured what better time now that it's Halloween and that the remake was just released a couple days ago to jump into Medieval for the first time. Kind of disappointed that they didn't include Medieval 2 on here, but even so, I'll still try to get around to Medieval 2. I probably will play. I've got a PlayStation Classic now. I know it's probably not the best way to play it. A lot of people have issues with it, but I want to get around to all these games that I missed out on, and they don't have to be, the 10 out of 10 games. I want to really get around to all of them. I remember hearing about all these games growing up, and Medieval always interested me. I love 3D platformers, love the Halloween aesthetic. There's obvious resemblance to The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's pretty obvious comparison there. But who doesn't like The Nightmare Before Christmas? And like I said, love 3D platformers. It's probably my favorite genre. Love all gaming genres. So let's jump in here and see what Medieval is all about. And typically I like to start off my videos where the first cutscene picks up or gameplay starts, but in this case we jump right into a cutscene as soon as you start Medieval. So eventually here.
In a time long ago, there lived in the kingdom of Gallowmere a sorcerer named Zarok. This arrogant, pitiless man hated his fellow citizens for their simple and peaceful ways. So he raised an army of demons and set out to take the realm for his own. The king's champion, Sir Dan Forteque, led the militia in the battle against this unholy horde. Songs are still sung of how he spearheaded the charge deep into the accursed multitude, how demons fell before him like wheat before the scythe, and how at last, though mortally wounded, he destroyed the sorcerer utterly. Fortescue went down in history that day as the hero of Gallowmere, and a time of peace began, which was to last for 100 years. And then the sorcerer returned.
Alright, and we're off. Sir Dan Forteque awakens. All right. Dan's Crypt. Rise and shine, Dan. Looks like you've got a second chance at this whole hero thing.
It has risen again. Sir Dan Forteque. See? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the saviour of the day. But we knows better. Let it alone. Fate has given it a second chance. A chance to forget the ignoble truth. A chance to defeat Zarok and live up to the legend. We hopes it does well.
And here we go. This is looking good.
You must be out of shape after 100 years lying on your back. Use the crypt to get to...
Okay, so it looks like this crypt area is probably just kind of a tutorial area. Get some gold. I'm sure that will come in handy later on. But yeah, I am excited to play this game. For whatever reason, I've always associated platformers with the fall season, and what better one than Medieval to play right around Halloween. Perfect Halloween game.
Some weapons contain powers and abilities beyond the ordinary. Be sure to test every weapon to discover their secondary abilities. Some weapon
Okay, so we got some daggers there. Got a star rune. X to jump. Alright. Got my copper shield.
During your travels through Gallowmere, you will collect many items. To see your items or to use one, review your inventory. In it...
Okay, cool. So we got a bestiary here, it looks like. Awesome. Love it when a game has a bestiary. Mortem the Earthworm. Information gargoyles. I'll have to check that out later. Pretty sweet though. So far
You will find life bottles throughout Gallowmere. They contain the same magic that rose you from your slumber and will raise you from the dead once again.
Okay, so I'll take that, please.
Any treasure that you find will be added to your coin total. Coins are used to buy items from the greedy merchant.
The greedy merchant gargoyles.
When you're ready to leave this crypt, you'll find an exit at the end of the hall.
Had a joke about the greedy merchant gargoyles, but I'll keep it to myself. Okay, so that was what the ruin was for. Anything else in here? I like to make sure I scour every square inch of every area before I progress to the next area. And yeah, so far things are looking good. Like I said, I've never played the game, so I have nothing to compare it to. I can't compare it to what it used to look like. But for 2019 and a remake, you have to keep that in mind. You know, it doesn't look as good as some of the games that are coming out, but
his diabolical odyssey through Gallowmere, you can spot the exits from an...
So follow the slime. But yeah, it doesn't look as good as some of the games that are coming out, but all things considered, it looks pretty damn good. And that is the tutorial. Oh cool, we've got a map here too. Awesome. Love it when a game has a map like this. Always reminds me of something like Super Mario Bros. 3. So it looks like the first official level here is going to be the graveyard.